Welcome. Welcome, Cottey College Alumni Association awardees, your guests, alumni, welcome home. Welcome, Cottey faculty, staff, friends of the college, and students. Welcome to all sitting here with me in Rainy Dining Hall, and to all who are joining us online. We wish you were here. My name is Rebecca Zeltinger. I'm from the class of 1994 and the Cottey College Alumni Association president. Like this past year, Founders 2021 has been like no other. In a disconnected time, we're celebrating connections. I and my 8 friends who sit on the Alumni Association Board of Directors come from classes ranging from 1964 through 2010, and hope you're ready to increase the number of Cottey connections in your life. Over 700 alumni have connected with Cottey for Founders 2021. We're almost at 750. Haven't checked lately. And many of whom are reconnecting for the first time in a long time. These 700 alumni are from classes spanning 76 years. We have Lois Watson Lee from the great class of 1944, who seems to be becoming a regular year after year after year. And we go up to a handful of students from the great class of 2020. The classes with the most representation are, drum roll, the great class of 1976 with 46 attendees. We have some in the audience. You might hear the roar rumbling throughout the data and the internet. 81 with 45 attendees. Great class of 2001, so moving on into the aughts with 38 attendees, someone in the room. I have it on good authority that members of these classes, among many others, have had great fun reconnecting. In fact, I think the class of 76 from their Friday night Zoom reunion might still be in session. In a few moments, your Cottey Connections address book is about to expand once again. We'll be hearing from and hearing about our very impressive 2020 and 2021 awardees. Now, it's my honor to welcome to the podium a common Cottey connection to us all, Dr. Jan Weitzel, president of Cottey College.
Thank you, Becky. Welcome home to Cottey College, whether you're in person or joining us virtually. The college is always excited to have its alumni come back, whether it's for this event, Founders, or to Vacation College, as an invited speaker, as a host for a potential student, or simply as part of a vacation. But today, on this very, very special day, the birthday of our founder, Virginia Alice Cottey, and at a time when we are all working to move our students toward incredible futures, we are especially glad that you're able to join us. As I've met many former students over my 5.5 years here at Cottey, I hear over and over again comments like, I got my start at Cottey College, or it was at Cottey when I figured out who I was supposed to be, or at Cottey, I found my voice. And so often, I wouldn't be where I am today if I hadn't had my start at Cottey College. Alumni, you created your base here at Cottey College for your future. You took what Cottey offered in the classrooms, in the suites, in the clubs, and in the organizations, through the leadership opportunities, the arts and the athletics, the travel, and that amazing network of friends to become the person that you are today. Now, just as was true when you were a student here on campus, our entire Cottey community, the faculty, the staff, the alumni, and the PEO sisterhood, we all work to ensure that students are our #1 priority, that they are supported and inspired throughout the entirety of their Cottey experience. Now, I'm here to tell you that the Cottey that our students experience today might be different from that you experienced. The degrees might be different. The international experiences may now exist, or they may have been expanded. In fact, the buildings themselves may have changed, as well as the clubs and the organizations and the in-class and out-of-class activities. Even the preparation that goes into preparing our students for that next step in their lives. With over 75% of our students now in a baccalaureate program, much of the time of our 3rd and 4th year students, much of that time is packed with internships, study abroad, planning for the workforce or for graduate school, preparing their capstone presentations, and that sometimes leaves less out of time for other activities on campus. But my friends, I'm here to tell you that 2 things have never changed. The mission has never wavered since that first day when Virginia Alice Cottey welcomed students onto our campus, the mission of educating women. And secondly, the relationships. The relationships that you created are the same types of relationships our students create today. At Cottey, we continue to celebrate academic excellence, and our faculty and staff, amazing men and women, all believe in the mission of this institution, the education of women. From individualized mentoring to an intimate classroom setting that allows our faculty and our students to have a close collaboration, to the approachable and the accessible faculty and staff, we are all committed to, and we all believe in advancing our students' education. At Cottey, we continue to be a smaller, close-knit community, something you each feel the moment you step onto this campus. We purposefully foster a culture that is inclusive and welcoming, and one that encourages collaboration and connectedness between everyone who is here now and everyone who has been here in the past. At Cottey, we are globally minded. We are diverse. Our student body this year consists of students from 34 states and 27 countries. This diversity of geography provides us with the opportunity to bring the world to our students, but also to take our students into the world through college-sponsored study abroad. We should all continue to be proud of Cottey, the Cottey we have been in the past and the Cottey we continue to be today. Our college was recognized by the US News and World Report in 2021 as the #1 best regional college, the #1 best value college, the #3 in social mobility, and #4 in the highest proportion of international students. And those rankings come from private and public institutions across 12 Midwestern states. So I hope, alumni, you're asking yourself, oh my, how can I pay it forward? How can I help the future generations of Cottey students create those incredible futures? One of the most important ways is simply to talk about Cottey. Talk about Cottey and tell the Cottey story in your professional and your personal networks. Consider taking enrollment materials to a guidance counselor at a local high school and talking with that guidance counselor about who Cottey is and the wonderful opportunities offered to our students. Think about helping a high school student actually visit Cottey, whether in person or via the virtual tour offered in English and Spanish on our website. We all know that a student is more likely to choose Cottey once she has experienced Cottey. And then, of course, work with your classmates to create or fund a scholarship for a future Cottey student, or share in other ways your financial gifts. In all of these ways, you can advance your college, and you can help a student create an incredible future. We ask for your assistance as we move proudly and boldly into the future. So additionally, for those of you who are attending virtually, let me simply say, please come home. Come home for a visit when you feel able. We were so excited last week to have a soft opening of the Susan Bulkley Butler Center for Campus Life and to experience the revitalized chapel, the new meditation space, and the beautifully updated side chapel, along with 2 beautiful outdoor terraces. And this venture was due in large part to you and to our PEO sisters, our BILs, and the many, many friends of the college. So before I close, I would like to share with you the members of the Cottey leadership team. They're not able, of course, to be here with us today, but I would like to share their names. First, Dr. Landon Adams, Vice President for Student Life. Dr. Joanne Bangs, Vice President for Academic Affairs. Professor Joe Burns, Faculty Chair and Professor of Dance. Mr. Randon Coffey, Director of Marketing. Ms. Christy Ellis, Associate Vice President for Institutional Advancement. Mr. David Herringer, Vice President for Enrollment Management. Mr. TJ Tubbs, Vice President for Administration and Finance. And Ms. Heather Brown, Director of the President's Office and Secretary to the Board of Trustees. I mentioned their names and encourage you to reach out to any of them or to me at any time with any questions, any concerns, or any possibilities. We are simply an email away. So finally, I would say welcome. Welcome home to Cottey. Again, those of you who are joining us virtually, please come back this direction. We would love to welcome you home on campus. I'm so pleased that you are here. Thank you.
Afternoon, everyone. I'm Christine Renner, and I am the nominating and awards chair for the CCAA board. And today we are honoring our recipients for 2020 and 2021. And I would ask that when you come to the stage, I'd invite you to please take the stage from my right and exit the stage from my left. And thank you all for being here. Today, we honor the Cottey College Alumni Associate Award recipients for 2020 and 2021. As you may know, we were not able to present the 2020 honorees with their awards because Founders Day last year was held virtually. We are so honored to have 2 of the 6 2020 recipients and 3 of the 5 2021 recipients with us today. For the remaining awardees who were not able to join us for today's awards luncheon, I will be sharing the remarks with you. I'd like to begin with our 2020 Friend of the College recipient, Chuck Baker. It is my great pleasure that I introduce Chuck Baker for our first awardee, Friend of the College for 2020. As BIL to Sue Baker, immediate past president of PEO International, Chuck became aware early on how near and dear this institution is to the sisterhood. Chuck served as the co-chair on the BIL Task Force for the Connect Initiative and was instrumental in bringing awareness to BILs and PEOs across the country, helping to introduce the idea of creating a student center in the heart of Cottey's campus, in the lower level of the chapel. He grew up in Warren, Ohio, and attended Miami University in Ohio and graduated with a BS degree in business. Chuck is owner and president of E.B. Baker & Sons General Contractors, a family-owned business for 60 years. During his time on the task force, Chuck shared his thoughts about Cottey Seat. Never in my life have I been aware of and associated with an institution of learning that places such emphasis on the personal advancement of its students. Each student at Cottey is set up for success. Unfortunately, Chuck could not be here with us today, and I will read his acceptance comments. It is truly a joy to be here on campus, and getting an award makes it all that much more fun. Throughout our lives, we all get asked to do things, volunteer our time and energy, and put our names on things that are just kind of ho-hum at best. But every once in a while, you get asked to do something that just strikes home and makes so much sense to us. And for me, working on the Cottey College Student Center Initiative is one of those such experiences. I was already familiar with the design and scope of the initiative, so it was probably the easiest yes ever in my life. The staff here at Cottey has been supportive, tireless, and creative in their efforts to make the chapel and student center renovations a reality. It has been a great team effort by lots of people, both on and off campus. My humble thanks to the Alumni Association for honoring me today. But it is all of you who make this place what it is. It is all of you that put the personal touch in everything that touches the lives of students here, setting them on a path for success. It is through all of your efforts and mindset that has made Cottey College the place that it is today, and for that, I thank you. Our second award recipient for Friend of the College for 2021 is actually a team of people, a rather large team of people. So we had to ask one person to represent that team, and that person is Judge Jim Bickle. And Judge Bickle is here today, thank goodness. So I'm going to read his intro and then let him give his own remarks. Judge Bickle chose to center his response to the CCAA awardee questionnaire around Cottey and the Connect volunteer team. And I quote, "Cottey has always been a student-centered campus, but without a student center. When Rogers Fine Arts Building was completed, it left the lower level of the chapel without any activities. A perfect place for a student center. It consolidated the Shelley Club, bookstore, spirit shop, and gathering place for students, faculty, staff, and visitors to connect. He also noted that the chapel would receive a great facelift and air conditioning. The Susan Bulkley Butler Center for Campus Life fills a missing piece of this great Cottey College campus, and the volunteer team is proud to have been a part of making it happen."
Thank you. And I know you're not supposed to wear a cap inside, but this was the task force that worked on the initiative. Got a driving cap that says BIL on the back. And so I want to show it off just a little bit. On behalf of the Cottey Student Center and Chapel Initiative volunteer team, I want to thank the Cottey College Alumni Association for honoring us. The Connect initiative has been a work of love for Cottey. We started with social gatherings around the country, but COVID suddenly put a stop to that travel. So all our efforts had to be by phone, mail, email, or Zoom meetings. The institutional advancement staff led by Sherry Taylor and Christy Ellis spent countless hours on the initiative, as did our volunteer team. I fear leaving someone out, but I'd like to quickly run through a partial list of our volunteers. And a couple of them are here today, and I'd like to ask them to come up and join me here in a moment. Task force consisted of Jim Atchison, Chuck and Sue Baker, Gary Barch, Richard and Karen Blair, Tom and Diane Bond, Al and Karen Brooks, Tom and Betsy Cornwall, David and Cheryl Denslow, Georgianne and Chris Douglas, Chuck and Denise Locke, Albert and Kathy Lefler, Mike and Susan Penrod, Donna and Gary Steinfort, and Jack and Dr. Jan Weitzel. So Albert and Jack, if you would step on up here, please. Through all of these and many more, we were able to receive gifts for the Connect initiative from 48 states and Canadian provinces. That's just incredible to me, that the outpouring and the response that we got from all over. So again, on behalf of our whole volunteer team, thank you to Cottey alums, PEOs, BILs, Board of Trustees, and friends of the college. Together, we can ensure that Cottey College continues to create incredible futures for our students. Thank you. Get a picture here. Oh, drop your mask.
With pleasure, please.
Our next award is the Alumni Service Award for 2020. And our recipient is introduce an alumna who I've served closely with on the CCAA board. Our 2020 recipient of the Alumna Service Award, Carol, graduated from Cottey in 1975 with a degree in music performance. Carol went on to earn a bachelor and master's degree in music education, teaching music education in elementary school for 31 years. Carol is truly dedicated to Cottey's success, spending 2 terms on the Cottey Committee for Missouri State Chapter of the PO Sisterhood. She also spent 8 years on the CCAA Executive Board, recently concluding her term as ex officio in June of 2020. Carol is married to her husband, Jim, and they have 2 children, Evan and Emily, and 1 grandson, Bent. Carol shared, while at Cottey, I was very busy as a music major, playing the bassoon with a wonderful instructor who played the flute and was an amazing musician. This required me to do and learn many things on my own. I also was involved in student government and was student body president, which gave me invaluable and incredible leadership experience. Carol is actively involved in church activities, playing principal bassoon, while as a vice president of the Jefferson City Symphony Orchestra and keeping active in her local PEO chapter and gardening. Please help me to welcome her.
Good afternoon. It is indeed quite an honor to accept this award from our Cottey College Alumni Association, who represent all alumni. It was also quite a surprise to receive this notification from Chris over 1 year ago. None of us who are passionate about the work we do for any type of service organization, nonprofit organization, or an institution like Cottey College expect to receive recognition. We give back because we love what the organization represents. We love Cottey College and all that this college has done, is doing, and will continue to do, creating incredible futures for young women and providing amazing connections. It has truly been a privilege to be involved with Cottey College in so many tasks and roles over the years since I graduated in 1975. Who knew that being involved in student government while a student at Cottey would open so many doors to my incredible future? I am forever grateful to President Evelyn Milam for giving me the opportunity to return to Cottey as an admissions counselor in 1978. I met my husband here in Nevada, which ultimately led me to becoming a full-time Missouri resident, now 40 plus years and counting. I am grateful for my close proximity to Nevada, as it has certainly made a difference in my ability to stay connected to all things Cottey. I have really enjoyed sharing all that Cottey has to offer over the years with my local PEO chapters, the state chapter of Missouri, and several international conventions, with students at college fairs, with PEOs, alumni, and friends through comprehensive and capital campaigns. Serving on the Alumni Association Executive Board at 2 different times and in different roles has definitely been an honor and a way to give back to Cottey. Your executive board is a hard-working group of women who are passionate about everything Cottey. Their goals and objectives are closely aligned with those of the college. I encourage all alumni and friends of the college who are passionate, and to find ways to give back to Cottey in your own special way, by staying in touch with classmates, by giving what you can financially, and most important, by sharing the story of Cottey and making connections with as many high school students as you can. The incredible future of Cottey College will be realized through this team effort, and this team has to include all of us. Thank you again so very much.
Our next Alumni Service Award for 2021 goes to Kathy Payton Lefler. Kathy is a 64 graduate of Cottey College and earned her BS in elementary education with a minor in political science from the University of Texas at Austin. Kathy served on the communications committee of the Defining Moment campaign and was appointed to the Cottey College Board of Trustees from 2010 and served a term until 2017. She considers this experience a highlight of her 50 years in PEO. Kathy and her husband, Albert, have been Arizona residents for the past 40 years, and their daughters, Amber and Holly, also followed Kathy's footsteps to Cottey. Kathy currently serves on the board of directors of the Grammy Award-winning Phoenix Chorale. Kathy has worked in various aspects of the writing business, including newspaper and magazines, through her home-based freelance company called Words to Go Incorporated. She enjoys monthly gatherings with her gourmet group and book clubs, as well as impromptu travel opportunities.
Thank you, Chris. I'm honored to accept this unexpected accolade. In 1962, my mother came home from her PEO meeting, eager to share a postcard depicting a few girls in front of a charming red brick building. That was the real beginning of my Cottey experience. Living in El Paso, Texas, I was excited about the opportunity to attend Cottey and to attend a college in the Midwest. She immediately enrolled me in an etiquette charm school for the summer. Imagine her surprise when I got off the plane at the end of my first year, proudly wearing my duck jacket. In 1963, that jacket exemplified all of the wonderful friendships, adventures, and learning experiences that Cottey offers. I wore it the entire summer. I cannot emphasize enough how that gesture with a postcard changed my life. Huge shout out to the class of '64. 30 years later, my daughter Amber was considering her college options. Of course, she knew all about Cottey and the songs, but she was casting a wider net. So I suggested that she visit Cottey just to rule it out for herself. And so we drove back from her visit for See for Yourself to Kansas City, and she said, "Do I come home for Thanksgiving or do I wait until Christmas?" And make that two life-changing experiences. 3 years after that, our daughter Holly, with Cottey as an obvious option, announced, "I want the whole treatment. See for yourself, everything." Our drive to the airport generated a different response. You lived in Robertson. Amber lived in PEO. I'm going to live in Reeves. 3 life-changing experiences that continue to enrich us. The 3 of us take advantage of every opportunity to share our Cottey experience, whether it's through PEO programs, conventions, class reunions, or service with organizations which are unfamiliar with the remarkable opportunity Cottey affords young women. When Dr. Judy Rogers asked me to serve on the board of trustees, my first question was, "Have you seen my transcripts?" She responded, "No, and I won't." Those 7 years were transformative, both for me and for Cottey. And I have watched Cottey continue on a trajectory to infinity and beyond under Dr. Jan Weitzel's leadership. When you receive a call to serve Cottey in any capacity, whether it's a donation, a referral, a service on one of their boards or committees, do yourself a huge favor and say, "Yes, I would love to." It will be the most rewarding decision you could ever make.
Our next award is for honorary alumna. And in 2020, CCAA awarded 2 honorary alumna awards. Our first is Linda Russell. I'm honored to introduce Linda Russell, who I personally got to know while on the Cottey College Scholarship Committee. Linda grew up in Shawnee Mission, Kansas. Along with her husband and her young sons, Linda moved to Fort Scott, Kansas in 1975. She first came to work at Cottey in April of 1991. After nearly 24 total years of service, she retired for the 3rd time. In January 2020, during Linda's employment at Cottey, she served as the assistant to the business manager, public information secretary, and assistant to alumni and PEO relations. She's been married to Don Russell for 50 years and is not here today because they are celebrating this weekend as their anniversary. Linda is the proud grandma to 4 beautiful grandchildren. Linda shared, "Cottey is very important to me. I feel there is a sense of family and connection in this community that you don't find everywhere. I developed lifelong friendships at Cottey, much like the students who attend Cottey, and have appreciated those relationships throughout my life. During retirement, Linda planned some road trips to make time for reading and take up sewing again. And here are her remarks. Good afternoon. Welcome back. Welcome home. I can't even begin to explain to all of you, how honored I am to be receiving this award. I love this college. My Cottey story began when I accepted the position of assistant to the business manager working with Mary Higgins in the summer of 1991. During my nearly 9 years in the business office, I had a lot of interaction with students, and I remember many of you from those days. After a 2-year absence, I returned to Cottey in 2002 as a public information assistant working with Steve Reed until my first retirement in 2013. I again returned to Cottey in 2015 as the assistant to alumni and PEO relations and worked with Margaret Haverstack and Christy Ellis. This position gave me a wonderful opportunity to connect on a daily basis with both alumni and PEOs. I retired from Cottey again in January 2020. I am the mom of 3 boys, Casey, Les, and Matt, and grandma to 4 grandchildren, Caitlin, Bryson, Max, and Maddie. It always disappointed me that I could never be a Cottey mom. Then an amazing thing happened. My first granddaughter was born, and I was suddenly a full-time Cottey recruiter, and later a Cottey grandma. After Caitlin Russell, Cottey class of 2013, yay, completed her bachelor's degree, she returned to Cottey to work as a financial aid counselor for 3 years. My work here is still not done because my youngest granddaughter, Maddie, just turned, well, she's probably 8 now. She probably has just turned 9. I have learned so much from this wonderful Cottey community. I still remember the amazement I felt when I first saw how incredible the change in these young women was when they returned to Cottey as second-year students. I believe that our experience as Cottey staff and faculty is similar to that of the students because we too develop lifelong friendships here. Cottey means family to me and feels like home. Thank you all for this wonderful honor. And for 2020, our second honorary alumna award goes to Helen Lodge. Helen Lee Lodge is honored posthumously for her dedication to Cottey College and as Director of Student Housing and Assistant Dean of Student Life from 1991 until her sudden passing in April 2019. Helen graduated from Central High in Pella, Iowa, and became a teacher at her alma mater, West Valley High in West Des Moines College. So she graduated from Central College, excuse me, and became teaching at her alma mater, West Valley High School in Des Moines. Between 1983 and 1991, she was hall director and assistant director of housing at Ellsworth Community College in Iowa Falls. Helen truly enjoyed the students, especially the resident assistants and her hall staff. She loved seeing the growth in their leadership skills, and she relished being part of the international experience that Cottey provided, traveling with the students to London, Paris, and Madrid numerous times. Her 28 years at Cottey were filled with special memories, and Helen was a genealogist, teaching classes in genealogy, English royal history, and castles and cathedrals at Cottey Vacation College. Her remarks were prepared by her sister Marilyn, which I will read to you now. On behalf of Helen's family, I am honored to accept this award. Helen loved Cottey, especially the wonderful students, co-workers, and friends she made during her 28 years here. She was always so excited to choose new RAs, to train them, and watch their growth over the years. She even enjoyed cooking their meals during orientation when food service was not open. Orientation skits, sharing the 5-finger wave, and opening the residence hall was so important to her. She tried hard to match every student with the perfect suite mates. Using her Apple IIe computer, until the day she died. Many comments we hear after her death were about how Helen had given a student her lifelong friend by had given a student her lifelong friend by matching them together. The international trips, especially sharing her favorite London historical places, were so thrilling for her. Of course, they were all tied into our family history. She enjoyed Founder's Day when she got to reconnect with many alums. Her collection of ducks was amazing, and she enjoyed sharing them. She provided many birthday cakes, and in later years, her special brownies were a big hit. I know many of you will remember several royal weddings, watch parties complete with tiara. She loved teaching Vacation College, whether genealogy, putting the fun in dysfunctional royal families, or about castles. The big bus wave at term end was always special, even though it meant getting up early. The graduation was always bittersweet, as she said goodbye to so many wonderful friends. We talked every night at 10 o'clock, so I heard about it all. Even on vacation, she never unplugged from calls from students with problems or questions. Helen would be humbled and thrilled by this award. Cottey was her heart and soul for 28 years. I am happy to accept this award in her honor. Thank you. And our next honorary alum is for 2021, and that is Trisha Bobbitt. Trisha joined Cottey in 1987. She served as the executive assistant, the president, and was the secretary to the board of trustees. In addition to her service with President Jan Weitzel, she had the privilege of working with President Emerita Helen Washburn and Judy Rogers. Trisha was a member of the National Association for the Presidential Assistants in Higher Education and the Board Professional Network with the Association of Governing Board of Universities and Colleges. When asked why Cottey holds a special place in her life, Trisha shared, as a young professional coming to campus, as like our Cottey students, I found a safe environment where I was encouraged to find my voice. As a proud Cottey mom, she has watched her up close and personal the impact of a Cottey education through her daughter, Trisha Crawford, class of 2001. Please welcome Trisha to the stage.
Thank you, Chris. In addition to supporting 3 presidents, I've had the privilege of working with dedicated trustees, faculty, and staff. Little did I know 33 years ago that I was joining a place in a community that would become so important to me, that I would have an incredibly rewarding experience and position. My efforts have been a labor of love as we have worked together to build on the legacy of Virginia Alice Cottey. I have watched Cottey students since my family moved to Nevada when I was 5 years old, and we lived on South College Street. My early memories are of Cottey students walking and singing to BIL Lodge. Now, then you looked so amazingly old and mature. Now our students look so young, and I'm so old. But as a proud Cottey mom, I want to share 3 quick stories with you. I will always remember the day our daughter Tiffany sat down to dinner one evening and proceeded to tell us about the amazing human kidney. Thank you, Dr. Peterson. With a bit more detail than I needed. Her experience at Cottey led her to a career as a nurse practitioner. During another conversation, she talked about the connections that she was making in her art class and another class. Traveling to London for the international travel experience, she was separated from her group on the tube, but thankfully found her way back safely and was reunited with her group, and I might add with Helen Lodge's welcoming arms. because she, like you, found her voice at Cottey, experienced an incredible transformation, and gained enormous confidence while pursuing her academic goals and preparing for her future. She, like you, found the liberal arts alive and well at Cottey College. She, like you, makes a difference every day in her family, her community, and her career. We're proud of our daughter and proud of her Cottey education. I admire and celebrate her and all of you for your accomplishments. Thank you for this opportunity to accept the honorary Alumna Award from the Cottey College Alumni Association. To the Cottey community, thank you for allowing me to share the journey to educate women and to help others experience the power of a Cottey education.
Our next award is for the Distinguished Alumna for 2020. Christine Fuller Shinneman, class of 1970. Christine received her Juris Doctorate degree from DePaul University College of Law, her Bachelor of Arts degree from the University of Kansas, and her Associate in Arts degree from Cottey College. Christine is an independent corporate director and advisor to national and international private and Fortune 100 companies. She is an award-winning leader, achieving results with organizations by providing innovative and strategic advice, and is a published author on corporate governance and finance issues. During her term on the Cottey College Board of Trustees from 2013 to 2020, Christine served as its chair for the years 2019, for the fiscal year 2019 to 2020. She also served on the board of directors of the Girl Scouts of Orange County and the Orange County United Way. Christine shared, "I attended Cottey during the time that reflected the beginning of the most active and disruptive phase of the women's movement, and also a time of great change in our country. Cottey gave me a stable environment in which to thrive and to develop and explore ideas that put me on a path of activism. I was convinced that there was nothing I could not accomplish. The environment of Cottey encouraged kinship, not competition. We were classmates, suite mates, friends, society members, colleagues in affinity groups, and finally, alumni. When there are no outward imposed limits to using one's voice and talents, that internal voice of doubt gets fainter and fainter until it is just something one used to believe. At Cottey, I was able to prove to myself that I had the talent and the drive to achieve what I wanted to accomplish personally and professionally. No limits and no fears." Please help me welcome her to the stage.
Thank you, Chris. We correspond on the other Chris. We know, as Melinda Gates says, a woman with a voice is by definition a strong woman. But the search to find that voice can be remarkably difficult. Cottey women find their voices, learn how to use those voices, and are not afraid to use those voices. We as alums have been given a valuable gift and are part of a wonderful and enduring legacy of Alice Cottey. The inspiration of thousands of Cottey alums and people all over the world, and thousands of people who Cottey alums and Cottey women have touched. We have an obligation to build on that legacy. Today's social and economic conversation shows just how important that is. We must all be an extension of the Cottey mission and purpose in any way that we can. Bring that purpose and that mission to women all over the world. A Cottey woman is distinctive in many ways. Let's be distinctive in our focus on improving the quality of women's lives and be like that stone that is skipped across the pond that causes many ripples. The world needs more engaged Cottey women. Inspire other women to dream more, learn more, do more, and become more. You are a leader in your own life and in the lives of others. You are a proud Cottey woman.
Our next awardee is for the Distinguished Alumni for 2021. And that awardee is Morgan Shaw Parker, class of 1996. Morgan currently serves as VP and Chief Marketing Officer for the Atlanta Falcons. Morgan graduated from Cottey in 1996 and completed her 4-year degree at the University of Nebraska and master's degree at the University of Kansas. Cottey allowed Morgan to explore all of her existing and new interests across business, science, the arts, music, sports, and communication within the first 2 years of her college career. Morgan has always had a passion for supporting girls and women in sports and mentoring young men and women as they navigate their own career journey. Morgan, along with her husband, have 2 little boys that keep them both very busy. She developed an appreciation of photography and design while at Cottey and loves that her passion for sports, storytelling, content creation, and design are able to come to life every day at work. The school values and close-knit community of Cottey helps strengthen her foundation and develop a moral compass that has allowed her to more easily navigate life after college. Morgan shared, most importantly, my experience at Cottey helped me to develop deep relationships and lifelong friends, as well as the confidence I needed to pursue areas outside of my normal comfort zone at a young age. Morgan has chosen to submit her remarks digitally, and we will watch the video.
Hello, all of my Cottey friends. I hope you're staying safe as you come out of hibernation from this crazy pandemic. I wish that I could be there in person with you, but I just want to say thank you so much from the bottom of my heart for this Distinguished Alumni Award. First of all, I stay really close to the Cottey community, and I follow a lot of our amazing alumni and really strong women throughout the community. And there's so many women doing amazing things, not only in business, but in our community and at their homes. And I'm just honored and humbled to be a part of this really special group. My experience at Cottey is one that has shaped my entire life. It's given me a foundation from being a student to a friend, being a leader, being an independent, confident woman, and now being able to lead teams in the business of the NFL. As a chief marketing officer for the Atlanta Falcons and the Mercedes-Benz Stadium, I often think about how important it is to have a foundation based on core values and a commitment to lifelong learning. And those are things that I really developed as a foundation at Cottey College, and I'm grateful for that. So to all of the nomination committee members, to all of my Cottey women, to all of our alumni and current students who are a part of this Cottey community, Thank you so much from the bottom of my heart for this incredible honor.
Which is the Outstanding Young Alumna. And our Outstanding Young Alumna for 2020 is Christy L. Leitzy, class of 2005. Christy Leitzy works as the lead speech pathologist at Trios Health in the special care nursery and oversees an outpatient feeding clinic for infants and feeding disorders. She holds 2 master's degrees, one from Smith College and one from Washington State University. Christy is married to her husband, Alex, and they have 2 children, Finn and Lindley. She said, being Finn and Lindley's mom is by far the most rewarding experience I've ever had in my life. They are my favorite little people and the reason why I pushed so hard to open a pediatric outpatient feeding clinic. Christy shared, Cottey allowed me to see my potential as a leader. The leadership experience I gained at Cottey allowed me to have the confidence I needed to open a clinic and engage with the hospital leadership. Cottey gave me a safe place to grow and nurture who I desired to become. Cottey was the best decision I ever made. My hobbies include playing with my children, cooking, traveling, and Netflix binge watching the latest shows with my husband. And I will read her comments. It is a pleasure to be here with you this afternoon accepting this award. My gratitude is beyond measure, and attending this world-class institution of learning changed the trajectory of my life. Cottey inspired me to dream of the possibilities, take chances, and taught me the skills I needed to lead from the rear. When I think of my time here and how it has impacted my professional life, it is the leadership skills I gained at Cottey. The skills of communication, compromise, and listening I gained here have positively impacted my abilities as an allied health professional. Cottey also taught me to dream big. And in the spring of 2018, I was neck and neck in motherhood. My son Finn was 2, and I was pregnant with my daughter Lindley. It was during this time I was asked to join the NICU or NICU team and to jump into a specialty that would change our family structure and my firm and my time at home. But it also presented an opportunity to lead the way in infant feeding disorders and eventually would culminate in me opening my own feeding clinic, one of 3 clinics specializing in premature infants in the Washington State and the only clinic outside of the greater Seattle area. It's been a rush. I love my job. I enjoy my patients. I'm in awe of my husband who does not mind the 9 p.m. Saturday night emergency phone calls from the unit. I'm grateful to my mother who always figures out what needs to be done to make my life easier so I'm available to my patients. And then there's my stepfather who has always and will remain to be the voice of reason and compassion that my children need when I'm at work. But what I am most in awe of is Cottey College. She herself made it all possible. She gave me skills to speak, skills to think critically, and skills to push when others said it was not possible. I am indebted to her and forever grateful I allowed her to shape me. Cottey College changed my life, and the things learned here still impact me today. Thank you. And our final CCAA Board Alumni Award goes to Sarah Gage, Outstanding Young Alumna for 2021. I am thrilled to introduce Sarah as one of the most recent alumni and our most recent commencement speaker in 2020. As a Cottey Legacy student, Sarah grew up singing the songs and attending numerous weekends with her mom and her aunt. Founders Day weekends with her mom and her aunt. As a Cottey student, Sarah recalled how much her global awareness was broadened by her semester at sea. She was introduced to diverse concepts and experiences and encouraged to engage in conversations to better understand the perspective of those around her. Sarah shared that Cottey provided her with the opportunities to develop leadership skills and make her voice heard. Upon graduating from Cottey in 2018 with a BA in English and a minor in history, Sarah then traveled to a remote Alaskan town where she began her public history career working for the U.S. Wildlife Service and lived in a cabin with no running water or electricity. This experience led to more opportunities with the Department of Interior, and she spent time working seasonally at National Park Service sites in North Dakota and Ohio. Sarah will be completing her Master of Arts degree in Public History and this spring, and currently serves as the Advancement Manager for the National First Ladies Library in Canton, Ohio, that is. Sarah shared, there is truly nothing that compares to the Cottey education and experience. And I am very grateful to have spent 4 years on a campus that is for women, by women, and about women. Cottey has truly made me who I am today. And Sarah has also chosen to share her remarks digitally, so we'll watch her video. Thank you.
Wow. How can I share the stage with the women who have earned awards today? I'm deeply humbled. My name is Mallory DeSalle. I'm from the amazing class of 1999. And I am currently the Vice President of the Cottey College Alumni Association. It usually takes me a couple of glances on Facebook to know when somebody's birthday occurs. Not today. Virginia Alice Cottey Stockard's birthday is today, and there's no way I will ever forget that. Happy birthday, Virginia Alice. How amazing is it that nearly 750 alumni from around the world all came to her party? We are all coming together as one to celebrate the legacy of Virginia Alice. Contributing as a member of the Alumni Board for my beloved Cottey C has been an absolute gift. Not in the form that can be unwrapped, no glittery paper, but Cottey College is a gift that has transformed me, my fellow alumni here, and the communities in which each of us serve. These gifts will influence the future in a way that Virginia Alice could never have even imagined. That's pretty incredible. So what gifts can we all give Virginia Alice today for her birthday? What do you think Virginia would want if she were around right now? Would she like a new laptop for all the Zoom meetings with the PEOs? Would she want Alexa? Hey, Alexa, play May All Your Dreams. Or perhaps she would want some daisy shoes, just like all of the board members are wearing throughout Founders Weekend. Oh no, probably not. Instead, VAC, though I'm sure she could rock a cool Zoom filter, I think she would be far more pleased with the opportunities to give that the Cottey College Alumni Board has available to all of you, including you joining from afar. We would all love for you to give the gift of Cottey to a young woman you know. Introduce her to our treasured Nevada home and refer her so she may begin to celebrate the connections of her own. Listening to the last alumna, I realized that I'm already doing it in my home. My two daughters helped me paint my Alumna DJ prior to coming on campus this weekend. That's going to be a special DJ that I hope someday they will wear as contributing members of the Alumni Board in 20, 25, 30 years. And then they have to give it to my grandchildren, by the way. I hope you're watching. You could also give your time, share a coffee, or a bad joke in my case, with an alumna or with a Cottey club. These strengthen the gifts that Cottey have to offer, not only with those from the past, but from Cottey of the future. My favorite gift as a little girl for a birthday was actually a tea set. And believe it or not, when I would drink my tea, I would pretend that I was the president. My grandfather told me I probably would become one day. And then when I came to Cottey College, I got to drink tea with Dr. Helen Washburn, the president of Cottey College at the time. That's not a coincidence. In July, I become the president of the Cottey College Alumni Association. That's a role that a gift can inspire. With joy, with gratitude, I and the Cottey College Alumni Association will continue to give these gifts: friendship, love, loyalty. We hope you like it, Virginia Alice. Happy birthday.
My name is Christy Ellis, class of 1996. Happy 25-year reunion, classmates. I represent the Alumni Relations and the Office of Institutional Advancement here at Cottey. Much like our founder, Virginia Alice Cottey Stockard, I grew up in a small Midwestern town. I was taught this saying by my small town church: this is the church, this is the steeple. Open the doors and see all the people. Last night, having spent time in the newly refreshed chapel, I started to think, this is Cottey. This is the heart of our campus. open the doors, see all the people, and you helped make it happen. We as a campus community, thank you. I look forward to the time when you can come and return back to campus, connect with each other and the Cottey community. Alumni support is invaluable to a college, and support you have. The gifts you gave with your virtual registration alone have totaled $12,288. These gifts make an impact across campus. You provide scholarships to students. You support our growing athletics. Your names are a part of Cottey history on our campus center, and you give to the Cottey Fund. For over 130 years, alumni have returned back to campus to reunite and celebrate the birth of our founder, Alice, as she was lovingly called. In the early years, alumni showered her with gifts. And until then, she said, and I paraphrase, "Do not bring gifts to me. Instead, support our college with your gifts." As we continue to reunite, reconnect, and rediscover this special bond we all share, thanks to Virginia Alice Cottey Stockard, consider honoring her legacy. Our dear old Cottey C. I am Cottey. You are Cottey. We are Cottey together. And together we will continue to make Cottey College incredible.
I invite you all to celebrate our closing by hearing "Hail to Thee, Our Alma Mater," which will be playing on the screen. In lieu of your lovely singing voices, we invite you to enjoy the music from the class of 1976, and perhaps, because your mouths will be covered by your masks, hum along.